The erstwhile Travancore at the end of the 19th century was a socio-culturally backward country. However, it had an important place among the principalities in India. The mode of production was based on serfdom. As per different works, people were divided into separate castes. According to the 1875 census data, there were about 420 different castes and subcastes here at that time. The social system of Travancore at that time was dominated by the immigrant Tamil Brahmins. Even the king was considered to be just below the Brahmins in the social ladder. The untouchable ladies were not even allowed to cover their breasts at that time. There were separate techniques for giving food to the untouchables. Even to see an untouchable was considered to be harmful. The activities of Chattampi Swamigal for the spiritual renaissance were the forerunner of the social revolt. Sri Narayana Guru, his revolutionary consecration of mirror as a deity, was a challenge to the high caste domination. G.P. Pilla, the father of the struggle for independence in Travancore, moved a strong resolution relating to the problems of the people of lower caste in 1886 Calcutta Congress. Malayali Memorial was the first call for revolt against the Brahmin domination. Elavas, Nayars and Christians were unitedly demanding for their rights in the government services. T.K. Madhavan was the frontline fighter in the struggle for the civil rights. A resolution towards the abolishment of untouchability, moved by T.K. Madhavan in SNDP Yoga meeting of 1902, presided over by Kumaran Asan in the presence of Sri Narayana Guru, was passed. The resolution of T.K. Madhavan, handed over by MANNATHU PADMANABHAN to the then Diwan Raghavaya, was rejected and disallowed to move in the Praja Sabha. We will have the signboards against untouchables. T.K. Madhavan sought the cooperation from the public. Persons like Sahitya Panchanan P.K. Narayana Pillai, Changanasheri Parameswaran Pillai, T.K. Velupillai, KUROOR NEELAKANDAN NAMBOOTHIRIPPAD, C. Raman Thambi and Manathu Padmanabhan supported him. Since his efforts were failed, T.K. Madhavan had made attempts to meet Mahatma Gandhiji and visited him at Tirunelveli. They discussed in detail on various problems connected with high caste domination. At the invitation of Gandhiji, T.K. Madhavan along with K.P. Kesava Menon reached Kakinada for participating in the 38th Congress. He handed over a pamphlet to AICC President Maulana Muhammad Ali requesting the party to do something for the untouchables. Subsequently, this problem was taken up by the Congress. Thus, the problems of social liberation of the lower caste communities in Kerala had entered into the mainstreams of our national movement. Indian National Congress, at its meeting held in Ernakulam, had formed a committee with K.KELAPPAN as its convener for launching a struggle for freedom and social justice. T.K. Kurian, Neelakandan Namboothirippad, T.R. Krishnaswamy Iyer, Velayatha Menon and T.K. Madhavan were the members of this committee. Congress Committee for the Abolishment of Untouchability had selected VAIKKAM as the venue for the revolt against untouchability and for the freedom for public movement. K. Madhavan had addressed a public meeting held in this respect. It was decided in this meeting that the Satyagraha should be started on 30th March 1924.
കരമെടുത്തു പണി നടത്തി അതു നമുക്കു പൊതുവില കുറവ പറയ പുലയരാതി പ്രജകൾ മനുജരല്ലയോ കുറവവർക്കു പറവതെന്തു കുടില ബുദ്ധിയല്ലയോ വയൽ കിളച്ചു കളപറിച്ചു വിളവെടുക്കു വൃത്തിയാൽ തടി കറുത്ത മനുജരെല്ലാം പതിതരാണുപോൽ വരിക വരിക സഹജരെ പതിതരില്ല മനുജരിൽ ഒരു പിതാവിലുത്ഭവിച്ച തനയരായ നമ്മളീ കരമണച്ചു കരളുറച്ചു പെരുവഴിക്കു പോകണം ഒരുവനുള്ളതല്ല രാജവീതി നമ്മ നൽകിടും കരമെടുത്തു പണി നടത്തി അതു നമുക്ക്
നിങ്ങൾ ആരാണ്? ഞങ്ങൾ പോന്നിരത്തിലൂടെ സഞ്ചരിക്കുന്നവരാ. നിങ്ങളുടെ ജാതി? ഞാൻ പൊലയൻ കുഞ്ഞാപ്പി.
ഞാൻ ബാഹുലേൻ ഈഴവൻ.
ഞാൻ ചാത്തുക്കുട്ടി നായർ. തീണ്ടൽ ജാതിക്കാർക്ക് ഇതുവഴി നടന്നോടാന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കേട്ടിട്ടില്ലേ?
അവരും മനുഷ്യരാണ്.
തീണ്ടൽ ജാതിക്കാരെ വഴി നടക്കാൻ പ്രേരിപ്പിക്കുന്നതും കുറ്റമാണ്.
A court order from the district magistrate of Kottayam prohibiting the Satyagraha is being read by a police constable before the Satyagrahis. As per Criminal Act 127, the prohibitory order warned that the Elavas, other lower castes and the Congress leaders should not enter the roads leading to the temple.
പ്രേരിപ്പിച്ചുകൂടാ എന്നും ക്രിമിനൽ നടപടി നിയമം 127 വകുപ്പ് പ്രകാരം നിരോധിച്ച് ഉത്തരവ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നു. അറസ്റ്റ്.
Gandhiji and Sri Narayana Guru holding talks at Shivagiri. They are of the same opinion that the people like more material freedom and therefore they agree to abolish the bondage engendered by untouchability.
സത്യപ്രതിജ്ഞ. ഞാനൊരു ഹിന്ദുവാണ്.
A volunteer Satyagrahi declaring himself to join the struggle being launched under the auspices of the Indian National Congress. I am a Hindu. I do not believe in untouchability. I believe in equality and social justice. Being a volunteer, I should be duty-bound to observe absolute non-violence in words and deeds.
ഗാന്ധിജി അയച്ചു തന്ന സന്ദേശം.
A message addressed to the Satyagrahis from Gandhiji was read. This was an inspiration for them. It also reminded the Satyagrahis that the enemies should be defeated by our love and not with violence. In the court, K.P. KESAVA said, "It is true that I have encouraged the so-called untouchables to travel along the temple roads. I will continue to do so as long as such a court order exists." He was convicted for 6 months simple imprisonment.
മാധവനോടെ വള്ളത്തിലായതുകൊണ്ട് 5 ദിവസം കഴിഞ്ഞ ഇവിടെ എത്തും.
K. Madhavan said in the court, "It is injustice to deny the freedom for movement for certain castes belonging to Hindu religion. Being a Hindu, it is also a disgrace to me."
കാണാതെ വീണുടലും ഞങ്ങളെ കരകേറ്റിയിടണം ശിവശംഭോ. മരണത്തെക്കാളും ഭയമാകും തീണ്ടൽ പലക നിൽക്കുന്ന നിലകണ്ട. അവയെല്ലാം നീക്കിയിട്ടവമാനം ഭൂമിക്കൊഴിവാക്കിയിടണം ശിവശംഭോ. ശിവ ശിവ ജാതി കസപീശ മൂലം ഭരതമേദിനിയുഴലുമ്പോൾ ഭുവനനായകനുണർന്നു ഗാന്ധിയായി അവതരിച്ചല്ലോ ഭഗവാനേ. ശിവശംഭോ ശംഭോ ശിവശംഭോ ശംഭോ ശിവശംഭോ ശംഭോ ശിവശംഭോ.
E.V. Ramaswamy Naicker was forbidden by the court neither to enter Kottayam district nor to make public speech. However, E.V. has spoken several places outside Kottayam. Furthermore, by his initiative, several committees were organized in different parts of the country in support of the struggle. The police ignored the Satyagrahis and did not arrest them. Because of this, they started hunger strike as a token of their protest.
महात्मा गांधी की जय, के.पी. केशव मेनन की जय, केलप्पन जी की जय.
Hunger strike spread in front of all the gates of the temple. An announcement was made in Tamil that Sri George Joseph, a temporary in charge of the struggle, would speak in the evening.
இன்னைக்கு சாயந்திரம் 5 மணிக்கு கோட்டையட்டி பக்கத்திலே ஜோர்ஜ் ஜோசப் பேசுகிறார்கள்.
George Joseph accused the government officials for not arresting the Satyagrahis who were lying under the scorching sun. He added that the government failed in the struggle. All religions are one and the same in respect of humanism. In the struggle for human rights, Kerala Chandrika editor Janab Abdul Rahman Kuti also joined. Srimati Narayani Amma, wife of T.K. Madhavan, called upon all Hindus to join the struggle against this inhuman condition where man is denied the freedom to walk through the public roads, whereas a dog is free to do so. As per the advice from Gandhiji, hunger strike was suspended and it was turned into a relay satyagraha. Some hooligans employed by the government for crushing the struggle threw chunna on a poor satyagrahi, Raman Elayatha. He lost his eyesight forever in this encounter.
महात्मा गांधी की
Police arrested George Joseph. EBR made a historic speech in Trivandrum. He said, "If the toddy tapper is a brute, then the upper class who drink toddy is not also brutes. Then the government who survive from the money earned from this source is also to be considered as discreditable. Funds were collected in these meetings for strengthening the struggle." Sri Narayana Guru came to VAIKKAM and blessed the Satyagrahis in their camp. He extolled the Satyagraham since it was under the control of Gandhiji's just ideology. Sri Narayana Guru made a public prayer for Gandhiji in a meeting presided over by Swami Satyavrata. A group of Akalis from Punjab came to the camp and distributed free food for Satyagrahis.
വൈക്കത്തൂരോട് നടപ്പാൻ വർണ്ണ ഹിന്ദുക്കളെ ശുദ്ധിയാക്കാൻ കുന്നും കുശുമ്പും ശ്രമിപ്പാൻ.
In the struggle for social justice and equality, Chichadatta Shankapalla became a martyr. The Satyagrahis were brutally attacked in different places. Marthandan was stabbed by the anti-group. Chittadathi Shankapilla and Swami Shraddhananda became martyrs in the struggle. Wife of ALUMMOTTIL CHANNAR and Mrs. T.K. Madhavan were the only Malayali women participants of the Satyagraha. Family members of EVR were the only other lady participants. At any cost, even the cost of our life, we will win our right for public movement. We should be prepared to any eventuality. But we should never forget the advice of non-violence of Mahatma Ji. Gandhiji gave necessary pieces of advice to the Pulaya community. Gandhiji asked several questions. All raised their hands in support of non-vegetarians and drinking habits. But only one raised his hand in favor of prayers. Gandhiji advised to recite Ram Ram every day. In commemoration with the swearing-in ceremony of Her Excellency, Queen Sethu Bhai of Travancore, all the Satyagrahis kept in the jail were released. Detailed discussion on untouchability was held between Gandhiji and Indrandrathi Devan Neelankan Namboothirippad. The conservative high caste leaders were adopting an adamant stand, saying that the people born in lower castes are bound to suffer such bondages as a result of deeds in their past birth. Gandhiji, on the contrary, based on logical and humanitarian grounds, opposed the illogical arguments of those conservatives. Gandhiji is addressing a gathering. There is no religion which is better than truth. Ahimsa is nothing but love and non-violence. There is no religion bigger than the law of life. Untouchability is incompatible with truth. If we think on the basis of the laws of Hindu religion, it is impossible for us to relate untouchability to those noble laws. EVR violated third prohibitory order in VAIKKAM and was arrested and jailed. During the chain of struggle, almost all leaders, including K.KELAPPAN, were arrested and jailed. A big jatha was started for Trivandrum under the leadership of people of higher class for submitting a memorandum in support of the Satyagraha to Her Excellency the Queen Sethu Bhai of Travancore. Jatha was given warm reception at all places in Travancore. A memorandum signed by thousands of people was submitted to Her Excellency Queen Sethu Bhai of Travancore at Pujapura Palace, Trivandrum. Daily newspapers came out with strong editorials supporting the Satyagraha and condemning the steps resorted to by the government. The jatha was received with traditional rituals. Thus the rulers eventually were forced to accept the principles of this just struggle, which continued for 20 months. The signboards of untouchability are being removed by the members of the jatha. This struggle could help to uphold the most noble ideals of humanism as well as truth, above all in inequalities. It is not only the achievement of the VAIKKAM Satyagraha that the thoroughfares were open to the untouchable cause, but also it could generate an atmosphere for the total abolishment of untouchability from the soil of whole India. It is precisely because of this that the VAIKKAM Satyagraha has carved a great and noble place in India's independence struggle.